Good morning, everyone. It is January 19th today, I think. I haven't picked up the camera for about 2.5 weeks. I've been super busy and trying to figure out what I'm doing next, I guess, would be what I would call it. I watched the last video that I recorded, and it was back in Saskatoon. I think that was before New Year's. So on that note, Happy New Year. Over the past, would almost be 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks. After I was in Saskatoon, I drove out to Spiritwood, north of Spiritwood, to look at a bus. It was an older bus. I think it was an 86. Turned out to be not what I expected. There's a lot of misinformation in the ad. It looked like it had good bones still, but it was quite rusty on the bottom, or on the undercarriage, or the under the floor, I guess you'd call it. So after that, I found a couple of other units, buses, and I ended up driving south to about an hour south of Swift Current. From the farm, it was about a 7-hour drive altogether. Another bus. It was a little bit newer than the first one in Spiritwood. It had some rust on it that I wasn't sure I wanted to deal with, and I thought that the person was asking a little bit too much for it. So I ended up not getting it, but I am glad I went. That's definitely for sure. Then I started looking at other options than buses, because there wasn't a whole lot to choose from in this province anyway. A lot of the stuff was out of province, and I would have to get it back to Saskatchewan to get it safetied and inspected, or I guess it was technically the same thing, to drive it here and insure it and plate it. So I started looking at more vans that had high roofs and what you would call a slide-in camper, like a truck box camper. I found a couple that I was interested in. The weekend after we went to Swift Current, I drove down to a place called Harris and looked at an older camper, and I was all geared up and ready to buy it, and then we couldn't get the jacks in the camper cranked up high enough to get the unit into the back of the truck. And we didn't bring any blocks with us, because the part that goes into the truck box, the part that goes over the truck bed rail, it was not high enough to clear the actual truck box rail, and it would have been, all the weight would have been resting on that. So between my dad and the seller and myself, we decided that it wasn't a good idea to take it home. So I told the seller that I would look into getting a trailer that it would fit on. On that drive home, I decided to look for a smaller unit. That one was almost 16 feet, and I was going to try and fit it into a 6.5 foot truck box with the tailgate down. And the majority of the weight was going to be I have an incoming call. What was I talking about? Oh yes, the camper in Harris. the majority of the camper that I looked at in Harris was going to be hanging out the back of the truck, and the majority of the way it would have been off center on the axle, which I didn't feel comfortable with. So I started looking for smaller campers that ended at the end of the tailgate instead of having the hangover on the back of the truck. So I found 2 units. One was an actual 6-foot camper, but it was in Edmonton, and again, I didn't want to. It also came with a car hauler for $5,000, but although it was in good shape, again, you have to deal with the inspection and all that, so I didn't want to spend the extra money, and for whatever needed to get fixed, I didn't know myself what the inspection would be looking for, so I thought that left a lot to kind of up in the air as to what might need to be fixed. So I kind of decided that I would come look at the one that I am looking at today. So yeah, I made arrangements to look at it at 9:30, and it's currently 9:17. So I'm going to go look at it, take some pictures, and regroup after. I'm not going to get it today because I'm just driving my SUV. So if I did want to buy it, I would come back here another weekend with a truck and buy it. So yeah, that is the update. The last few weeks have been a lot of me trying to figure out what I'm going to do in the future. I think I've made a decision, but I'm not ready to announce anything until I know a little bit more about what I'm thinking about doing. I have a good idea, but I want to make sure that a couple of things fall into place before I reveal anything, just for my own sanity. But I've been doing a lot of work with plants. I've been catching up on a bunch of YouTube channels that I follow. What else have I been doing? I've been going for a walk pretty much every day. I have agreed to check on my neighbor's house starting on the 24th, I think, for a couple weeks. So I'll be doing that, checking on all of their animals and stuff like that. So anyway, I'm going to go message this person and tell them I am around and go look at this camper, and I will let you guys know what happens when I'm done. See you in a bit. Good morning, afternoon. It's 1:30. Wanted to pop in and give everyone a little bit of an update. I have been, first of all, I guess that the fact that it's February now is good, because January was a very busy month. Between 4 road trips and just over 40 hours of driving around the province. 2 different units, I'll call them, that I've been interested in. It's been a long journey, but it's been worth it. So back on one of my vlogs, I believe I mentioned that I was going up to Spiritwood to look at a bus. I don't know if I called it a bus. I think I just called it a unit. It ended up, obviously, well, not obviously, it ended up being a bus. It was a late model 86, or late model 80s, 86 or 87, I think. It ended up being pretty rusty for its year, so ended up not going with that. After that, my dad and I drove down to a place called Aneroid, about an hour south of Swift Current. Ended up being a 14-hour round trip. Stayed the night in Saskatoon on the way back. That unit was good, but between the drive back and it wasn't Saskatchewan safetied, so I would have had to take it and get it safetied. And on top of the 55 or on top of the $6,000 asking price, I didn't know how much work I'd have to do to get it safetied, so I ended up saying no to that one. The next trip, I don't believe there was a weekend off between these. The next weekend we went to a place called Harris. That unit ended up being too long. It was a truck box camper. Ended up being, I think all in all, it was 16 feet long to fit in the back of an 8-foot box. I was going to buy it, and then we couldn't get it high enough. We couldn't get the camper high enough on the jacks to get it above the tailgate on the truck to load it. So I ended up leaving it there and didn't end up buying that one. So I believe we took a... No, we didn't. The weekend after that, I found another unit that I liked down in a town called Pilger. It is northeast of Humboldt. I went down and looked at the camper, looked at it, talked to the owner for about a good 3 hours. And it looked like a pretty good unit. As far as she knew all the appliances worked, I think she said she used it 3 times since she bought it, and she had it for over a year, so not the most amount of use, but a little bit anyway. Came back to the farm after the viewing and thought about it some more and gave some thought to how much work I would have to put in it. It looked like it had good bones. Like I said, we were pretty sure all the appliances worked. And she had given it a cosmetic, actually called facelift. Inside, just kind of painted all the cupboards and the walls and roof and everything like that. So I thought about it, and I got the money out, and then my dad and I went down to Saskatoon because I had an appointment. This was after the viewing. We went down about 10 days later. I had an appointment in the city in Saskatoon on Tuesday, early afternoon, so we went down for that. And then we drove to Humboldt that night, and then we got up somewhat early on Wednesday morning, and we drove out to Pilger, jacked it up, had a few issues jacking it up, but nothing that we couldn't fix while we were there, which was fortunate. Ended up buying it and got it home, and as of today I will have had it for Thursday. Would have been one day, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, it's Sunday today, so I've had the camper for 4 days. I've done a little bit of work to it. I didn't film any of it because I didn't know I didn't know how deep into everything I'd have to go. So now that I kind of know, I've done some testing and I kind of know what the camper needs, I'll probably start filming a little bit more. I will do a reveal video. I bought the camper outright with cash, and I'm working with a family member to work out a deal on a truck to buy to haul it with. So it is an 8.5-foot truck box camper, and the truck that I'm looking to haul it in, that I hauled it home in, or back to the farm on, is a 6.5-foot box. And we built a platform in the box because we needed some more height for the part that sits in the truck bed, and then it goes up like that and then over the truck bed rail. We needed more room to clear the truck bed rail, so we ended up building a platform under it to gain us, I think, another 2 inches. So we did that, and I worked on it Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and I haven't worked on it today yet, but I think I'm going to take the rest of the day off and or take the rest of the day to do other things and hit it again on Monday, which is tomorrow. So I'm waiting for a bunch of stuff to come in that I ordered for it between next Tuesday and the following Wednesday. Most of that stuff should be here, so I'll have some more projects to do with that. As I said, I will do a reveal video on the camper, a tour, and what the truck is that I'm making a deal on buying, and I will show you guys all of that in due time. One of our neighbors out here at the farm went on vacation, and they asked me to come over and check the house. So I started, it's Sunday today. I started on the 24th. I can't remember if Tuesday will be 2 weeks. Yeah, it must be. Yeah, Tuesday's been 2 weeks because they're going to be gone for a while after that. So, yeah, I'm here today. I did not ask them if I had permission to film at their place, so I am going to respect their privacy and not film me doing chores, but essentially just giving the horses some food that they like every 2 days. Make sure the cats have food and water, and checking the house to make sure it's warm, running some taps, and flushing toilet. So anyway, that's what I've been doing every second day for almost 2 weeks now. So I got this next upcoming week from Monday to Saturday to keep on checking the house. So we will continue to do that. Other than that, I've been planning projects with camper and trying to work out my next move. Whether or not that's getting a different job and yeah, doing something for money. So there is an announcement that I will make in a couple days here. I want to make sure that I have everything in order and all the information before I do announce it. So yeah, I will probably make the video probably later this coming week. Yeah. I'm going to leave that at that. So anyway, I'm going to go do my chores and check the house and head back to the farm and do whatever else comes up for the rest of the day. So anyway, thanks for watching, and like, comment, subscribe if you feel so inclined. And we will see you in the next video. See you later.